Procurement. If we've employed some of the tactics and packaging in the recipe Make It Easy to Buy, then we've successfully avoided procurement for our first engagement with this customer. At a high level, procurement will be involved if our product or service requires that we are certified to do business with their company. To be certified, we must pass a set of criteria established by the company to become a supplier. Depending on the size of the company and the industry, this process can be lengthy and expensive. It may require certifications by independent entities, whether it is audited financial statements or security testing by third-party companies. The bigger and more widespread our proposed solution, the more exhaustive this process will be. ProTip horror story. Ask the question early in the predictable, repeatable sales process if their company can do business with smaller companies. If we're packaging our offering in a way that will require procurement, it is not unreasonable to ask early to speak with someone in procurement to understand their process before we invest in the POC. I continue to see deals go completely dead after 2-year technical evaluations and proof of concepts because the large company cannot do business with small technology startups. Our sponsors find out at the last minute as part of the procurement process that a vendor is not qualified to become a supplier. About procurement. In most large companies, procurement is a cost center that is measured based on savings, both total dollar savings as well as percentage discounts. So the people we're dealing with are measured based on how much of a discount they can receive on our order. Procurement is not interested in our long-term ability to provide a quality product or service regardless of what they say. This is our most vulnerable point to be negotiating a large long-term contract. We have not demonstrated any value and have virtually no leverage to hold our pricing. If we have C-level support, then we can hold the line a little better. For us to be able to provide quality support and service, we must represent and protect our company during these negotiations. Tips for negotiating the first deal. Avoid procurement completely by packaging as a service or as a license that can be justified by the department executive. No service level agreements or limited security approvals. Ideally, our initial engagement could be a monthly charge that is put on a credit card and expensed. Keep the initial order short-term and lower dollars to stay below the radar. Avoid committing to longer-term contracts that are accepted at the customer's discretion with terms like options for years 2 and 3 at the negotiated price. Keep our options open so that when we demonstrate high value and ROI, we can negotiate terms that reflect the value that we've delivered. Negotiating long-term 3-year agreements before we've demonstrated any value is our worst time to negotiate. Find someone in your network who is doing business with a company to understand the discounts that they will expect to receive on services or products like ours. It is not uncommon for large companies to receive 90% discounts on SaaS products in multi-year contracts. If our product or service will require the complete certification and qualification by all the departments of the customer's organization, then we must have a scale and price that justifies the effort and investment to win the business. We cannot lose money on every deal and make it up on the volume. Pro tip. Think of a large company like many small companies. If we can package and sell our product to many departments in a company, avoiding the negotiations of a corporate agreement, we can maintain our pricing long enough to be in a position to negotiate with some leverage when the customer wants to consolidate our business into a corporate contract. If many departments are already using our products at a higher price and justifying the value at that price, it's more difficult for procurement to apply pressure to us to cave on price. Remember, in most cases, even though we may negotiate a corporate agreement, we will be starting with one small initial deployment to prove our value. Just because a company has thousands of employees and potential users, our initial production deployment will likely be in the low hundreds of users. A procurement joke and true story. Procurement asks the vendor, "Can you give me the price for 1,000,000 units?" The vendor responds with a price. Procurement says, "Great, I'll take 2 at that price." Checklist for procurement. Do we understand the value that we deliver well enough that we can defend our pricing and proposal? Did we discover processes or requirements that we do not currently have, like audited financials or security certifications? Did we leave some room in the pricing to make some concessions to purchasing? What terms do we want for our first order? The length of contract, the number of users, etc. Our next step after a successful meeting with procurement is deployment.